Hi guys, Gareth here and welcome to this Feeling Plump production and welcome to the first video in a couple of weeks or so. So this video is also going to be a test of my new camera that I bought a while ago now. I can't remember, it was a month ago now. I can't remember what it was I bought this camera a number of weeks ago. It's the Panasonic Lumix DMC GH1 and all I've done to this camera is used a program called P-Tool to hack it and also give me the ability to take away the 30 minutes limit which exists here in the UK or Europe because of a stupid tax thing. It's stupid in a lot of ways. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but it's a really stupid thing. Also give me the ability to record in either PAL NTC format, and recording in NTC format means I can record in a format that's more favourable to YouTube, and also giving me the ability to use third-party batteries, because down the road I do intend to buy more batteries for this camera, because these are all the spare batteries I had from my previous camera, which was the G3. These are the spare batteries. If anybody wants some spare G3 batteries, just hit me up, because I've got a few of them and I have no way of now using them because I sold the GH3. All of my subscribers know the story of the G3 and what happened to that, but nonetheless, let's get into this video, shall we? So the week before last week I was off work for a week. I wanted to take a break from both work and from YouTube. I wanted to put a distance between YouTube for a number of reasons, because towards the end of, you may have also noticed I've privated a few of my videos that I did, last. And I needed to distance myself to that mental state I was in back then, because I don't think it was healthy. I was attacking everybody and not being a good YouTuber at the end of the day. So I wanted to put some distance between that and now, so to speak. So that's one of the reasons why I took the break. The other reason why I kind of took the break is because as the week went on, I actually got quite sick towards the end of the week, and last weekend I had the symptoms of tonsillitis. I didn't know if I had tonsillitis because I never went to the doctor to get it checked out, but by googling my symptoms I had the effects of tonsillitis. A swelling at the back of my throat, a pain, what's the word? I've forgotten the word right now. A pain. A tenderness, that's the word, a tenderness. And when I did this to my throat, it's still kind of tender, but not nearly as bad as it was. And anytime I did anything with my voice, talked, coughed, even breathing to an extent, aggravated my vocal cords. And in fact, if I spoke for more than 3 or 4 sentences, I'd actually feel quite a strain on my throat. So I thought it'd be a good idea to not do YouTube or use my voice unnecessarily. So then something kind of happened in which I spent a lot of time on Discord with a lot of friends and really did strain my voice at one point. Actually talking right now is straining my voice. I don't know whether there's some sort of carryover from whatever I had last weekend. Last weekend I also took the decision to drink a lot more water, and we'll get onto that in a little bit. If you wonder why I'm leaning over, it's because I've got single focus on auto single focus, and the squares in the middle of the screen, I'm trying to make sure my face is there, so I'm actually in focus. So hopefully this is working. Hopefully this is in focus. No idea if it is. Anyway, let's carry on. Then this week was a week. It's a good week in some weeks, but it's a week I'd rather forget in some other weeks. It was a very busy week at work because not really a policy, but normally I'm a forklift driver at work, and normally we'd have 2 hours to do the jobs that I have to do for forklifting. I'm there for 5 hours and 2 hours of that is forklifting. This week I only had an hour to do the forklifting because our closing time has changed. And that definitely was stressful. Then something happened later on in the week which was stressful, which I'm not going to go into. And then I was on overtime for Thursday and Friday. So I worked a 9-hour shift rather than a standard 5-hour shift for me. And it definitely put its strain on me, and I was actually quite tired at one point. But one thing I will say is I've been making sure to drink at least 2 litres of water a day. Some days I was drinking 3 or 4 litres a day, and it has made the world of difference. There are times, to give you an idea, I had maybe 6 hours sleep over the course of Thursday and Friday, and that's because there was some other stuff happening on a Discord server I'm part of that I was sort of dealing with and talking to people about and sort of acting as an intermediary, and I stayed up maybe a bit longer than I should have and only got not a lot of sleep. Shall we say, I got far less sleep than I should have. Normally, if I've had that little sleep over the space of 2 days, I'd be delirious, practically dead on my feet, and death on legs, I suppose, would be the best way of explaining that. However, I felt really good, and although at parts on Friday I was quite tired, I came home and was actually felt relatively okay. In other words, my energy levels have skyrocketed. Not only have my energy levels skyrocketed, but what used to happen, because I wasn't drinking water that often, I used to crave a drink. You know, be really thirsty and really crave a drink of some description. So I used to buy a bottle of Coke from work and then down it in one go. A 500ml bottle of Coke gone in a couple of swigs or chugs, whatever you call it. However, on Friday I decided to have a bottle of Coke because I wanted something different than the water I've been drinking, and rather than glugging it down in one big go, I was actually able to enjoy the Coke. It was actually nice to have a change of pace, if you know what I mean, when it comes to the Coke, because I wasn't just chugging it down because I was thirsty. Some other things that have been happening, I've been waking up a lot easier actually, been able to, I'm not, staying in bed for like an extra half an hour to an hour when my alarm goes off. I'm actually getting up pretty promptly. I don't wake up with a dry throat. I can talk a lot longer without, getting a dry throat or stuff like this. And the other thing that's kind of maybe a knock-on effect of drinking more water is I'm not as lazy as I was, if that makes sense. So by design, I'm I suppose some people are a fairly lazy person. And I suppose some of the mod cons and conveniences of the modern lifestyle mean that, say for instance, because I recently bought an adapter for my Switch with the ability for me to use, gives me the ability to use my Xbox One or my PS4 controller with my Switch. If I wanted to resync my PlayStation 4 controller with my PlayStation 4, I'd have to get up, plug a wire in, plug it into the PS4 controller, and then go from there. And there were times before I started drinking all this water and my energy level got up, I couldn't be asked. I literally did not play my PS4 because I couldn't be asked to get up and go and resync the controller with the PS4. The same with the Xbox One, is I couldn't be asked to press the button on my Xbox One controller. I was just like, can't be asked. I've had a lot more motivation and enthusiasm and stuff like that. And I know it sounds a bit strange, and some people may say it's far-fetched that water can have that much an effect on you. But if you read up the benefits of drinking water, they are numerous, and it doesn't take a genius or a scientist to know that the effects of drinking water are far better than the negative. The positive effects of drinking water are far better than the negative effects of not drinking water. I am going to the toilet more often, to be honest. But to be honest, if that's the only negative effect of drinking water, then I can deal with that. To be honest with you, I feel a hell of a lot better than I did, in the last however long. The other thing that's been happening recently is I wouldn't be suffering from memory problems, but sometimes I've been finding it harder recently to recall certain things. I don't know whether it's a knock-on effect of drinking water, but my brain, I say capacity, is that really a word? My brain efficiency has definitely improved. And again, that's one of the many effects of drinking water, because it helps your blood to flow around your body. Of course, it gives your brain more blood, and therefore it works better. And I wanted to say all this to basically come back to my channel with a positive outlook, and come at you guys with a positive mental attitude rather than what I was exhibiting, you know, 2 weeks ago when I last was doing videos. And that there are many more things I could prattle on about the positive effects of me drinking a lot more water. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave this video here. This is just me, you know, explaining a couple of things. There was one other thing I was going to explain, but I've forgotten right now. Back to doing only 5 hours a day next week. I did some overtime last week, plus I finally got some overtime sorted. That's taken a while to get sorted. So all of that will be coming through at the end of this month. So, you know, that's some overtime in the can, so to speak, and I can, you know, have a bit more of a comfortabler month next month, because things are quite tight at the moment, but that's by the by. Anyway guys, you know the spiel. Like or dislike this video depending on how you're feeling. If your feelings are more complicated, then please pop a comment down to the comment section down below. As I do like to say, YouTube is a social media platform. Let's make it social. Let's take it back from the trolls. And if you haven't already, you can stick around by pressing the subscribe button. It's big, it's red, it's free. Do it. If you wish to receive a notification to your device of choice every time I upload the video, then please hit the bell icon, make sure the quotations are around it, and that will facilitate that happening. As always guys, you've been a very supportive and patient audience, and until next time, please take care, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.